Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Bytes, where we discuss all things crypto, DeFi, airdrops, and more. My name is Brian, and today we're going to go through a number of airdrops that have either no upfront cost at all or very little upfront cost. And each of these, they're not going to be the largest airdrops in the world, but I do think that you could easily get, a few $100s from each of these without a lot of money or effort. So not a typical list of protocols that I normally talk about on this channel, but these are things that I'm farming. I'm currently farming over 100 different airdrops at the moment, so I wanted to share these with you in case capital is limited or you're just looking for some extra cash with with not a lot of effort. So let's go ahead and dive right into the list. Alrighty, so first one up, this is Twin Finance. So this is on Berachain, which you may or may not have used before, as they're a relatively new chain, and the token hasn't been doing too hot ever since it launched. That said, you don't really have to know or do anything with the Bera token by using this protocol, other than that is the gas token of Berachain. But gas fees are like a tenth of a penny, if even that. So with $1 or $2 in Bera in your account, in your wallet, you can pretty much do everything that you need to do here. So what Twin Finance is doing is they basically have four stocks here that they are representing as tokens. So Apple, Nvidia, Coinbase, and MicroStrategy. And they have these assets where it's both the stock, or you can also buy basically a short of the stock, so the inverse. So in the case here, they call it like I Apple, I Nvidia, I Coin, I Mr. Basically. And so you can buy these for the price, the current stock price, and they're relatively small so far. They only have about $300,000 in tokens minted thus far, but they are running a points campaign. And what I like about this one is not only is there not a lot of people that are aware of this, which may mean that, like I said, the airdrop may only be a couple $100, but because not a lot of people are aware, the airdrop might be decent. And then in addition to that, once you mint these different assets, you can then go and take them. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, once what you can do with those assets is you can go and take them and deposit them into liquidity pools on both Kodiak and Bear. Now, and the APYs are quite nice. They're in the 100 to 200% APYs, and they've been that way for quite a while now. And so pretty much you're going to be pairing the stock, or you can also pair the inverse stock with a stable coin. Both Bear and Kodiak allow single-sided deposit. So like if you just deposited Nvidia, it'll automatically swap the necessary amount to give you like an even pool here. And yeah, pretty much Kodiak is also running their own airdrop campaign. I believe Bear has already had an airdrop, so you won't get anything there. But with Apple or MicroStrategy stocks, you can do the inverse or the actual stock on Kodiak, and you're essentially farming two airdrops in one. You're getting paid multiple hundred APYs. You're holding a relatively stable asset in these stocks since it's not like crypto. So yeah, it's almost like you're holding a little bit more volatile, stable pair with a very nice APY and a 2-in-1 airdrop potential. And since there's not a lot of people farming this just yet, you can see here I'm only putting about $80 in here, and I'm already ranked pretty highly on the points already. So, and I've just been doing it for like a couple weeks. So under the radar, Twin Finance, definitely something that you can check out. Next up is Infinite. So Infinite has been around for quite a while now. I believe Infinite is like the parent company of Init Capital, which was a lending and borrowing protocol on both Mantle and Blast. And I first found out about them, maybe 8 months, 12 months ago, when I was farming the Mantle, the METH airdrop, and I was depositing a lot on Init Capital. So I was getting a lot of points that way, which Infinite calls stones. And since then, they've kind of, for the last 6 months or so, been migrating over to being AI heavy in their approach. And so right now, kind of the campaign that they're running as a part of their airdrop, I believe this is like season 3 now. They still haven't done a TGE yet. So for someone like me that's been doing this for a while, it's taking kind of a long time. But for someone like you that maybe hasn't started doing anything yet, now's a good time to jump on board, because it's a pretty easy way to earn a decent amount of stones for the airdrop. Excuse me. And so yeah, basically what you do here with the badges is you'll come and you'll see there is a bunch here across a number of different chains, and you basically just need to do what it's asking for you to do by interacting with their AI agent and depositing into various platforms on these different chains. So you can see for like this first one here, you do that by lending on Init Capital through Infinite. So Init Capital they just showed you, this would be that. If you go over to Infrared, stake on Infrared using the Infinite AI, and then you can earn a bronze, silver, or gold badge based on the number of times that you do it. This campaign is running until the end of June, so June 30th. So you only have a couple weeks left to do this if you're interested. But getting all the badges is certainly going to help you. And then I believe if you use my referral code, you can get an extra 10%, as well as do I. So I'll put that in the description below. And let me just show you kind of how this agent works. So yeah, here's like my task that I did earlier, just to test it out for you guys for this. So pretty much I just said deposit $10 USDT on Init Capital and Mantle. It says it's going to make that transaction. Do you want to proceed? I said yes. And then basically this thing pops up, and then my wallet popped up. I approved the transaction. The transaction was deposited, and then you can see here on Init Capital that my $10 is right here, earning 3% interest. And so my plan is, with each of these protocols, I'm just going to do that 5 times. So I'm literally just starting this myself, but I want to let you guys know since it is time sensitive. So I'm just going to go through, do $5 or $10 on each of these, do that 5 times to get the gold badge, withdraw your funds, and rinse and repeat. So you only need, $20-$30 that you can just reuse over and over again on this. And, some of these, like I said, Kodiak already has an airdrop campaign going on. Dolomite might as well. So a lot of these also have airdrops going on in and of themselves. So, any little interaction that you do with the protocol is going to help you perhaps qualify for those too. So potential 2-in-1 or multi-ways-in-one opportunity by farming this infinite airdrop here. And I think that because they've been, going on for quite some time now, and I've noticed that their AI agent has been getting better and better over the last few months, they're probably going to be doing their TGE in like Q3 of this year. So they might have one more campaign after this one. But again, like I said, this one ends on June 30th. So if you're interested, get going on this right away. Probably take you maybe an hour or two to go through all of these, I would say. Next up is Revo. So again, this one's been around for 6 to 8 months at this point, and I don't really ever hear much about it. I somehow found out about it like right in the first epoch, so I've been using it since then. And yeah, I know I'm in there somewhere, but anyways, let's get into what this is. So similar to what I just discussed with Infinite, basically Revo is a platform where you earn points by depositing into various DeFi strategies, doing swaps. So like just for every dollar that you do where you deposit into one of their strategies, you're getting 1.85 points. For a swap, 1.85 points. But I don't really deal with that much. What I do instead is go for these big ones, where you get 5,000 points by Maneki, I think is their AI agent. So this is another AI agent type of thing. So you can see right here, you're getting 15,000 points just by doing a few of these tasks. And then you can do some social stuff here as well. including creating content. And yeah, so like there's a lot of just easy kind of things where you're kind of uh, doing social tasks, interacting with their AI agent, basically taking some quizzes. And then the other ones that I like to do too is I'll do these. So just by depositing $10 into one of these, you get a 10% boost on all the points that you earned. And so if you do that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's probably more. So you're going to get a 70% boost on top of all these points. So even though the leaderboard, what's the top guy on here? Let's see. Sure, you get like 50,000 points times 10 because you're getting like almost a doubler on it. You're going to be getting like, yeah, 100,000, 200,000 points if you do all those tasks. And you can see right there, you're going to be already like in the top 20. Easy. I think that's just for this round, but yeah, it's a pretty easy set of tasks. And I've done this before they've had kind of like different epochs. So this one's a completely separate set of tasks than previously, which to be honest, the previous epochs were even more difficult tasks than these. But you can see that there's only 23 days left. So if you're looking for a pretty easy set of things to do, I would highly recommend you take advantage of these before the end of June. And yeah, that's Revo. And like I said, there's not a lot of competition, but I don't think that this is going to be anything massive, but I do think, you can probably make a couple $100 with, you only need $10 or $20 because you can deposit into each of these strategies, get your boost, and then just take it out, and it still counts it as completed. Like you don't have to keep your money in there, so you can just reuse the same thing over and over again. So yeah, that is Revo. Next on the list is Magic Newton. So Magic Newton, there's a Kaito campaign going on for them, which if you're not familiar with Kaito, that is basically a way that you can earn points for talking about different protocols on X, Twitter. And so, yeah, at least on my, Twitter, my X feed, there's a ton of people blabbing about Newton all over the place. So maybe you've heard of this before, but we'll talk about Kaito in another video if you're not aware of it. But for this one, Magic Newton, pretty straightforward. There's basically two things you can do. Every single day, you come here and you roll the dice. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what we get. Oh, that's pretty crappy. 4 credits. Oh well. So yeah, you roll the dice each day, and then they also have kind of like a Minesweeper game. I won't go through it, but you click on these and you can win. You get the point. So you do that. You can maybe make like 20 to 30 points per day by doing that. And then they have these other quests that you earn points on, which they don't list them here because I already did them all. But basically, it's like following Magic Newton, connecting to their Discord, a couple other social tasks like that. Right here, yeah, follow us, Discord. Clicking on these, to be honest, they don't even check. Just click on them and then it'll automatically give you the points. So you don't need to worry about that. You get points for referrals. And then the big one, which you definitely should do because a lot of people for whatever reason are not doing it, is activating the Newton agent and setting up a recurring buy with them. So pretty much you just go there, similar to what I showed you with Infinite, is you type in like I want to deposit $10. I want to buy $10 worth of Kaito every week, and it'll set it up and you deposit 10 or 20 bucks into the agent so it has money to play with. It'll do that, and as soon as it does its first transaction, you get your 500 credits. I think you also get 1,000 credits just for signing up if you use a referral code, so I'll give you my referral code as well. So yeah, you can see here I have 1,700 points. 1,500 of them came from just signing up and setting up this agent. So you're pretty much just like depositing the 10 bucks, 20 bucks. It does a swap for you. You can then withdraw it, and then you still get your 500 credits if that's all that you care about. The agent does do a pretty good job of doing the automated DCAing for you. So, it is a good feature, and I'm sure they're going to be adding to that. But yeah, it's pretty much do that and then come and check back daily with these easy quests. And yeah, you can also talk about them via Kaito if you're aware of how to do that. And I do think that this one will be a decent airdrop. There's a lot of competition for it though. So if you're not, at least doing this, activating the agent, then I would say not to bother with it. But again, it takes a couple minutes and it costs you almost nothing because you can immediately withdraw your funds after it does a swap. So whatever the swap fees are, 10, 20 cents, that's your cost. So that is Magic Newton. Next one is another one that costs money, and then all the rest after this are going to be free ones that we'll go over. So this is Tyonic. So pretty much with them, what it is you go and make deposits. You can either deposit Ethereum, Bitcoin, I guess Solana too, or stable coins. And based on how much you deposit, you start earning these lightning bolts every day. So I started with like $100 or $200. I've since dropped it down to like $20 or $30 because I got a lot of these lightning bolts, and I am already very highly ranked. So I didn't need to keep the money in here anymore. But basically, you're going to earn these lightning bolts, and then you're going to go into this chest section here, and you want to open up these chests. So I have enough to do one. So let's show you that works. So I'll take off the animation. So I open up a chest and I got 130 of this fire. I can go and click that button to share it on X, which you don't even actually need to do it. It just automatically gave me the extra 0.2. And so yeah, you get basically 10% of your lightning bolt back, and you win this. And then your objective is to get as much of these flames as possible. So if we go to the dashboard, you'll see I have 20,000 flames. Leaderboard actually. And there's quite a number of people. There's almost 500,000 people that have at least earned one flame. But with my 20,000, I'm, what's that? In the top 3% of them. And I did that with, a couple $100, which I've since dropped down to $20. So I think if you deposit 50 to $100 in here, you're not earning any yield. You're just earning these lightning bolts. But yeah, I think if you do that for a month or two, you'll rank up pretty highly, and then you can just take most of it out just so you have something in there. And then in addition to that, they have a number of just social type of quests that you can do that earn you more of these lightning bolts. And yeah, that's pretty much Tyonic. So just deposit a little bit, open up these chests as often as you can, and rank up that way. So again, I don't think that this is going to be the largest airdrop in the world, but I think if you can get into the top 20,000 people or so, which you can do with 50 to $100, you should be able to make a couple hundred at least. So that's Tyonic. The next ones are ones that are basically browser extensions that you can install on your computer. Now for me, I'm always as secure as I can be, so I have a spare laptop that I'm running these on, just because one, I don't want them dragging down my main computer that I'm operating off of, and then two, I just want to have the most caution as possible to not be running different Chrome extensions on a computer where I have my crypto wallets on, just in case something were ever happen. I don't want that computer to be compromised for any reason. So that being said, the first protocol here is called Dawn. So it's just like Grass, if you're familiar with that. Grass launched about a year or so ago, and their airdrop they've had the first airdrop, and they're almost going to have season 2 relatively soon, which is why I'm not talking about them, because I think that one's already pretty heavily overfarmed. But basically what this is it uses your spare computing power. You just download the Chrome extension. It's running on the background. Nothing else that you really need to do other than that. If you have multiple laptops or things that you can run these on, then you can earn even faster that way. The Grass airdrop, I had no referrals at all. All I did was run the extension, and it was like $300 or $400 of an airdrop. So I expect Dawn to be at least half that, hopefully. And again, yeah, it's just running something in the background. Similarly, there is Blast Network, which again, it basically is taking your unused computing power while you're running the Chrome extension in the background. And yeah, they're very similar to what Grass is doing. Dawn, Grass, and Blast, they're all very similar. Again, hopefully that should make you a couple $100 if you are running this in the background. And it doesn't really even take up much of your, I can do things on my computer while they're running, so they don't take a lot of power. But again, I do recommend doing it on a spare computer, not one that you're having your crypto wallets or activity on, just to be extra cautious. Next one is Gradient. So another one similar to Dawn, Bless, and Grass. You install the browser extension and it uses your power in the back. So yeah, not much more to be said there. The next browser extension is a little bit different. So this is called Chakra. So this one, you do need to be active because what it does is it's basically taking the public web site data that you're basically browsing on, and it's taking that and using that to basically build an AI model from it. So pretty much all I do is I just have whenever I'm browsing X on the internet, I'm doing it on this computer, and I really don't open up any other websites other than that. And I think there's about 150,000 people that are farming this so far, and I'm already ranked like 10,000. I've only been doing it for like 2 weeks. So, and I only maybe browse Twitter for like 30 minutes a day on that computer. So, if you're way more active on a computer, you're probably going to jump up the ranks even faster, even though you're a little bit behind on time. But yeah, basically with this one, you just download the browser extension, and it's looking at your web data and giving you points based on that. So pretty straightforward and simple. Those are the browser extensions that you can use. So I think with those 4 right there, you can probably get $1,000 in airdrops if you start now. So not bad for running something just in the background or just browsing the internet. Very simple. Next one, actually let me do this one since it's similar. This one's not a browser extension, but this is PowPow. And so this is basically a mining operation for the BITZ token, BITZ. And it's run on the Eclipse network. The Eclipse network they just finished the season 1 of their airdrop, and the TG should be coming soon. So I don't think doing anything with this is going to affect anything that has to do with Eclipse, although maybe for season 2 of Eclipse, maybe they're already counting your usage of this potentially as something that you'll qualify for an additional round on Eclipse. But in the meantime, with this PowPow app, you pretty much just connect your wallet. You pay like 5 cents to activate your staking account, and then you just need to, every time that you're on a computer, you just come in here, connect your wallet, and then you click here to start collecting the bits. And then basically what I've been doing is as I'm collecting them, like every few days I go and claim them, and then I come over here to stake, and I basically just stake my bits, and then I don't have it running right now, but you're basically earning yield, and it's actually pretty decent yield that you're making basically at the same rate of what I'm farming. I'm earning the same amount just from the staking. And so currently the value for 1 bits is $40 or $50. I've been doing this, just running it in the background maybe for a week now, and I've made a few bucks. So it's not anything to write home about whatsoever, but it's literally just a tab open on my browser while I'm doing other stuff, and every few days I can go buy myself a beer. Not bad, right? So if something like that interests you, this is powpow.app, and it's on Eclipse, and it, like I said, it may very well count towards the Eclipse airdrop as well in the future if you use this. So that is another one that can just run in the background. Actually, one more that can just run in the background that I literally just started right before this video is called Sandwatch, which is on Solana. And basically what you do is you sign up. You need a referral code, so I'll give you mine in the description below. But you go and you sign up, and you basically start with this. It basically is kind of like a AI movie type of a project. So and they have it kind of focused around like movie theater. So you get a basic theater seat for signing up, and with that, just once you sign up, you're basically earning popcorn points for your seat. And then you can do things which I still need to do is basically do different social tasks, and you can buy some of their tokens or NFTs, or you can even buy a premium seat, and you get these multipliers on your popcorn points. So just for signing up with a referral, I'm already getting 2.5x on my points. You can see here from the leaderboard that there are some people that have gone pretty crazy on this already. I'm not sure how long this has been around. I first learned about it a month or so ago, and I just haven't gotten around to signing up for it, which I wish I would have known that it was as easy as just signing up and then you start earning points. But hopefully now that you know that, you can start earning points quickly. Literally, you just sign up, but then if you want to, you can come in here and view these different videos, become a creator, which will give you it doesn't look like there's any points that are being given for that just yet, but in the future perhaps maybe there will be. So in the meantime, just sign up, you'll start earning points, do these little easy social tasks, and you'll get like 5x just for spending nothing. I don't even think you need to have this open, to be honest, to earn these points. It just keeps on running in the background. So that is Sandwatch. And last but not least, I did say we'll go over Kaito and some other like Cookie.fun and other platforms that you earn based on using Twitter in another post and another video. But this one is somewhat similar. It's called Mira AI. And you don't need to post anything. You don't need to make your own post on X in order to earn points here, but what you're basically doing is you're scouting content and then you're tagging Mira Terminal in that post. So if you're on X, you see what you think is a good content post, you just tag Mira Terminal, and it'll basically determine if it is valuable content for its AI system or not, and it'll give you points based on that. Now, when I first started using this like a couple weeks ago, it seemed to be pretty generous with approving the different things that I was tagging. Since then, it's been a little bit tougher. Maybe only like 10% of the things that I tag get approved. But from what I can tell, it really kind of values like longer form tweets, or things that are like more factual. Not more factual, but either things that are like theories that people are putting out, or like detailed information about a certain topic. That's the type of stuff that it seems to value more so than like someone that just posted like a chart and said something. And so it does give you points for both crypto related stuff and non-crypto related stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much as simple as just what I do is whenever I am scrolling through X, if I see something that I think was intelligent, which most stuff on X isn't intelligent, but when you do find something that's intelligent, you just tag, I'll leave a decent comment first, and then I'll tag Mira Terminal, and then it'll reply in the tweet if it like accepts it as like a point that you can get. So, which their points are called NLP. So this has only been around for a couple weeks now, so you're still pretty early, and yeah, it's pretty easy. Just you can do it, on your phone or on the desktop, wherever you use X. You just tag their Mira Terminal and you earn points that way. So that is another free one for you to use. So I know this wasn't kind of the standard things that I normally talk about on this channel, but I want to give everyone a wide depth of different airdrop opportunities, since not everyone has a decent chunk of change to put down on things like you would with the Sonic airdrop or Hyperliquid or things like that. So hopefully this was helpful. I do think if you do everything that I listed here, while not financial advice, it's going to cost you less than $100, of which you'll just be able to like use it and then get it back, and then maybe like an hour or two of your time, and you should easily make a couple grand from these different airdrops, I think, by the end of this year. So not bad, in my opinion. So thank you once again for watching. Hope this was helpful, and yeah, until next time, happy farming.